All right, I'm fully aware. I'm fully aware that I have hit a plateau. Yes, in different aspects of my life, I've hit a plateau, whether it's working out, growing the business, my capacity to do more for my family. And for the last, I'd say 6 months or so, I have stuck my head in the sand. And people say that's inevitable when you've been running a business for 7 years. We just celebrated our wedding anniversary, eighth wedding anniversary. I just turned 40. So plateaus happen in life, in your life, my life, and in different aspects of your life, whether it's fitness, business, career, friends, family, and even self-development. So today, I want to share with you 5 changes that you can make when you hit plateaus. All right, let's dive in. Number 1, I got my notes. Changing environment. To me, this is the low-hanging fruit of when you hit a plateau. So what I mean is, there were times where I was very low in my life, and I remember I lived in Toronto at Jane and Woolner, and if you don't know Toronto, it's not necessarily, Jane and Woolner is not the nicest place to live. We had bed bugs and cockroaches, and what I did, change environments. Change environments. It made a world of difference. It changes who you are. We are our environment. More recently, I've moved. I moved from Orleans, where I grew up, to the Glebe, which is a different part of Ottawa. I wanted to be in an area that had more people, more things going on, so I wasn't socially isolated. And so we've made that change, and I think it's made a world of difference. So if you've hit a plateau, the first change that you can make to overcome the plateau is changing environments. Number 2, changing focus and priorities. So I think the one tip here is knowing when to say no, because when you say yes, yes, yes to everything and become a people pleaser, as the trap I sometimes fall into, when you're saying yes to something, you're also saying no to something else. And by starting to say no to the things that don't matter, you start saying yes to the things that do matter. So for me, what that looks like is maybe saying no to some events so that I can say yes to my family. Maybe that's saying no to some vendor calls so I can say yes to some client calls. Maybe that's saying no to a certain type of fitness, like I used to play ball hockey, so I could say yes to other types of fitness, like hiking and biking and walking and running and fitness in that way. So learn to change your focus and your priorities so you can put the things that are most important to you. In my case, it's health, family, friends, and of course business, right? You can reprioritize those things in the order that makes the most sense for you, especially if you've hit a plateau in some of those areas that I mentioned. Number 3, you can change your routine and lifestyle. So what this might mean is waking up at a different time, working out at a different time, maybe eating at different times, or having more snacks or less snacking throughout the day and solid meals X amount of times throughout the day. Maybe that's doing yoga at a certain time of the day, or meditating, or setting up your calendar in a way where you only do meetings maybe half of the day and you chunk out the rest to do focused work, right? So that's the other thing. So waking up at different times, exercising at different times, doing work at different times, changing your routine and lifestyle. Other things could also be having new hobbies, new interests, or even it could be, buying new clothes to change your lifestyle and it makes you feel better, right? So when you hit a plateau, the third thing you can change is your lifestyle and routine. Number 4, changing your mindset. For me, I mentioned earlier that my head was in the sand a little bit, pulled my head out, and now I'm focused on changing my mindset, which means being more accountable, having a better mindset, not blaming the world, the victim mentality, right? So having more moral authority. So the way you can do this, which is stop being the victim, be more patient, is to have a good understanding of what your expectations are for yourself. So for example, I have certain expectations in my business. I have certain expectations for my fitness. I have certain expectations for my health and wellness, right? But what happens is we stop articulating those. We stop casting those expectations out to the world. So first step I took was laying out my values and articulating them and casting that vision to our team, so now they know where I stand on things. And also we've implemented new things like scorecards, and we're focused on KPIs associated to each of those expectations. Do that in business. Do that in your fitness as well. Do you have a certain weight target, the number of reps that you want to be able to do? And even within your family, do you want to go on, I want to go on a date once a month, or take your kids out X amount of times, or, so that's changing mindset, and mindset associated to KPIs and having measurable expectations. Number 5, the number 5 thing that you can change when you hit a plateau is probably the hardest one, which is changing people, the people that you surround yourself with, right? You can't do life alone. I know we like to think that we can, but you cannot do life alone. So what are the things that you can change? You can change the people that you're surrounded by. I know we've all heard you're like the closest 5 people to you line, right? Changing mentors, changing clients, changing team players, changing people in your network, changing friends, right? And you can't change your family, but you can change the way you engage with your family, right? So remember, you can't do life alone. So the 5th thing that you can change is perhaps the unhealthy elements of some people that you might have in your life that are toxic and bringing you down. So to recap, 5 things that you can change to overcome a plateau in your life: changing environments, changing focus and priorities, changing your routine and lifestyle, changing mindset, and changing people. Great. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends or your network, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.